Hey, what's up guys, it's Uchiha here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with a new short story. The name of this short story is What If Naruto Met with His Parallel Self? And yeah guys, it is an unscripted story and my own idea that I had while God knows why reading Harry Potter fanfictions. Something is wrong with me that I'm reading those fanfictions, but I guess then again I had weird ideas, so here it is. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you do then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. And without any further ado, let's begin with our today's story. Roll the intro. Story begins 13 years after the Kyuubi attack, when Naruto Uzumaki, the current Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Yoko, was now officially the Genin of Konoha by the order of the Kage. And some of the people were not happy about that, especially some of the civilian council members, and some of the Chunin and Genin shinobis as well, and some of the Jonins of the older generation who have lost some of their loved ones in the Kyuubi attack 13 years ago. And they were livid by the thought that the demon was now amongst their ranks and their comrade. It even left a detestful taste in their mouth saying that word towards the very source of their hatred. So, on their own accord, a Jonin went and began to search out the Hokage's office when a civilian council called for a meeting. And the Hokage office was vacant, as now we see him looking throughout the most important precious scroll of Hiruzen. The reason he was called the Professor, his dictionary scroll, as he called it. In that scroll were many jutsus of different villages, as well as the jutsus of his own sensei's creation, the jutsus which were in the making but were never completed. And that is where he found one interesting jutsu. Shadow Mirror no Jutsu displays the reality of difference. As this piqued his interest, the reality and difference, huh? Must be interesting. It will also reveal to everyone who that true demon is. Your time is up, demon. You no longer can hide behind that mask of a human skin. He thought in his mind as he began to copy that jutsu, and after copying it, he left without reading the note that it mentioned deep down below it was in the making and was not complete. As after that we see him arriving 2 hours later in a local bar where many of the shinobis and civilians were all gathered up. So, is the work done? Asked Mibuki Haruno, the one civilian council member and the head of the civilian council who asked for this job. It has been done, Mibuki-sama. I found a jutsu I think that will do the job. I see. Now all we have to do is gather the people of Konoha and summon the demon. But we should try it on him first to see that if it works or not. It is still in the making, I read that. Or something like that, I don't know why. But to me, the seals are complete. The combination is done. I can sense it. The jutsu can activate. Good. So what do you think, all? We should try it on him first to see that if we are right or wrong, or otherwise we will be only making ourselves fools out there. That is correct. Okay now. One of you have to go and kidnap him then, said Mibuki as they all remained quiet for a bit, as after realizing what they were doing, some of the shinobis left. We go towards Naruto, as he currently woke up being tired and a lot of painful. My head. What happened? What happened was, demon, that you were brought here by us. As this words alone send chills down Naruto's spine because he has been through a lot of these situations. But luckily enough, he was able to dodge them or avoid them altogether. But this time around, it wasn't looking any good, as they have surrounded him all together from different sides. And they were smiling and smirking with different weapons in their hands. Once we reveal that you really are the demon and have the proof, we, alongside with everyone else, will execute you. So, begin, Shinobi-san. Hi. As the face-covered shinobi then begin the hand seal process. Shadow Mirror no Jutsu. As a black mirror appeared, as Naruto saw himself, but with red eyes, standing on the other side. Ha! As I told you, a demon. As everyone began to laugh, until one of the Genin then said, why does he have 3 tomos in each eye? What? Said one of them. As suddenly the mirror broke, and out came a Naruto Uzumaki, Similar age, but with long hair that was silky and quite cut it out like Madara. And he was exact replica of him, wearing the same armor at all, but with blonde hair and blue eyes that were currently red with tomos in them. Interesting. You certainly are me. And this is Konoha. This is the elemental nation. And yet it feels different. Who summoned me here? This seems to be not my own dimension. As everyone else remained quiet, completely shocked, because an Uchiha emblem alongside with an Uzumaki was displayed proudly on his back. As he looked at all of them, sending chills down everyone's spine. Tell me, maggots, who is the one who called me here? Demon, as Naruto then smirked. Oh, I see how it is. As he reached for the back and grabbed out a huge gunbei, as everyone was shocked. What, you think we're afraid of you now? What if you have a big sword? We can still fight you or more. Oh, really now? As in an instant, half of them were cut down in the middle section and were still screaming in agony because they were alive. Ah, what a pity. You're just trash, nothing else. And the civilian councilwoman was shocked. What have you summoned, you monster? Stay away from me. Why should I? You're the one who summoned me here. There's nothing left to destroy in my realm. And this? This realm I can enjoy a lot. How can you be so sure that this is the same realm as yours? True, but one thing remains certain. What? You, Mabuki Haruno, remain the same old bitch in each and every dimension, I guess. Katon, Flame Destroyer Devastation no Jutsu. On smaller scale. As on a smaller scale, a smaller Flame Destroyer Devastating Jutsu was released with a huge current of flames, engulfing all of them and burning them to crisp alive. As then, Naruto, who was fidgeting at the witness of mass murder by his counterpart, witnessed him turn and begin to walk towards him as his gunbei was now on the back. You, why would you allow yourself to be tied? Is this how an Uchiha deals with these scum? I'm not an Uchiha. I'm Uzumaki. What? He said as he grabbed Naruto by the jacket and literally shoved him on the back. Hey, what are you? You're correct. Uzumaki emblem only. No wonder you were being caught by them. But haven't you heard about your mother's past yet? No, the old man didn't tell me about that. Old man, huh? It isn't Naruto who is the Kage here. This world is not so different from mine. Maybe I can save the old man of this timeline before everything went to hell. Okay, listen up. I may look like this, but I have certainly more experience than you. And this is my younger body. God knows why I woke up in this one. What do you mean? I'm dead, kid. I am gone. Destroyed. Dead. What do you mean? You're dead. You're here, aren't you? I am your counterpart. Let's just say who destroyed his own homeland. You destroyed Konoha? You never became Kage? I was obsessed about being that, but that all changed when the old man died. He thought to himself the last bit. Changed? What do you mean changed? Listen, it's complicated. I don't know if I should tell you this all, but there could be dark consequences. But to cut to the chase is that I ended up destroying my whole homeland. As Naruto was now even more shocked. His counterpart has destroyed his own homeland and not only that, his own world? But how? I told you, I was dead. And when I closed my eyes, I am here. Next thing I knew, I was summoned here. But for what? I don't know. Maybe I can tell you that. As from the shadows, out came. It was Naruto himself and a lot of Anbus. Hello, Naruto-kun. Naruto, my boy. Why don't you help him up? Oh, I see. So you're here, old man. How long have you been listening? I presume that you are already aware of this, Naruto. Oh my god, he really looks like Madara. If his hair was black and so was his eyes, I could have deemed him to be younger Madara. I was almost about to attack him. So, They used the mirror jutsu, huh? Yeah, I guess that is what has happened. So, all I have to do is just send you back. No, there is no need. I'm sorry, but what do you mean there is no need? There is nothing to return to. Everything is destroyed. So was I. But in the last pool of events, I was summoned here. So I'm not going back. What? But you remaining here will change a lot of things. What do you mean, old man? This jutsu is dangerous. Do you think I'm an idiot? My sensei created this jutsu, and he said that it was still in the making and quite dangerous. So he left it at that, incomplete, after finding out the Harishin and the space-time. Ah, like my old man, huh? That old bastard did the same thing. You know about your... Obviously I know. But the only difference is that, I presume, mine was Uchiha. What? Uchiha? Yup, Uchiha. Naruto Uchiha no Uzumaki. And not only that, Itachi turns out to be my half-brother and cousin. Wait, what? What do you mean? Well, Fugaku and him were brothers. I see. So you're from Uchiha clan, really? Yep, Uchiha clan all the way. So, we gotta talk a lot, but not here, old man. I know you wanted to ask a lot of questions, said Naruto, cutting him off. And as for the younger Naruto, I think it's fine if he should be brought there too. It's time he should be told about who he really is and what his purpose is in this world. I see. As after that, sometime later, we go towards Hiruzen office to see that both of the Narutos were sitting there, one with crossed arms and other looking down, feeling way too much left out and quite weirded out by his own, well, image sitting in front of him, or more like himself sitting in front of him from the other dimension. You know, it's quite weird. Said Naruto, enough, said the older one. So, let's talk, Hiruzen Sarutobi. Tell me what you want to know. I heard that you destroyed your own homeland, meaning Konoha as well. Why? Well, after you died, in my dimension, things turned to hell. And it's not that far. The kid has become a Genin, and sooner or later, the Chunin exams will be nearing. And if my intuition is correct, and the paths are parallel to one another as you said, Orochimaru will attack. Orochimaru, huh? And he will revive the two first Kages. What? He will use that of Tensei, old man. And he will literally kill you. You ended up sacrificing yourself in my dimension. So that is the thing that I'm gonna stop. Why are you telling me this? You know that by preventing my death you have changed the course of factions. You want your world to be destroyed, same as me? No. Then do as I say. Because I did just that, without you out there. Because these people turned their backs on me. Even Kakashi and Jiraiya did. What? Why would Jiraiya do that? Because the prophecy changed after you died, Hiruzen Sarutobi. There was no longer child of prophecy. Only a child of the end. Me. As this caused all of them to go into shock. And look at Naruto in a new perspective. The one who will bring the end to all of them. And they now begin to understand the gravity of the situation they were in. Their time was literally ticking if their universes really were parallel. So that means that our Naruto, correct. For him to remain the child of prophecy, I think that you should be the first one to be survived. And there are some people who I'm going to save and kill for this to make sure that it happens. Otherwise, the same events that happened to me will transpire here. Do you want that to happen, Hiruzen Sarutobi? No. Good. Then sit back, shut up, and let me do my job. Okay. Fine, said Hiruzen after thinking for a bit. But you're under my jurisdiction, boy. I may, or my counterpart may have known you as Naruto, but to me you're just an outsider. I know. And trust me, as long as these people stay away from him and me, I got no problem with them. Why should I? That is something that can be done and arranged. You don't need to worry about that at all. As after that, we see Naruto, the older Uchiha Naruto, has moved in with the Uzumaki Naruto now in a bigger apartment. and both were like siblings, twins basically. As now we go towards Orochimaru, as Kabuto has been able to track down each and every bit of the evidence and bring it back all the way to Orochimaru. You see, what happened was Kabuto was there to collect the evidence or some sort of, well, blood samples that were left behind by Mizuki from the woods. And that is when he heard a commotion nearby. And when he went there, he saw that some people were in an abandoned hut inside of it. And there he witnessed the emergence of Naruto from this jutsu. And currently he was here. Orochimaru-sama, I bring you the most interesting news ever. Interesting news, huh? Konoha has in the scroll of sealing a jutsu. A jutsu that can make you see your parallel self. Parallel self, you say? What do you mean? Naruto Uzumaki, the Jinchuriki of Kyuubi no Yoko. His parallel self was brought here by one of the Jonins before being killed by him. What? Yes. He turns out to be an Uchiha, and he resembles a lot like Madara. As this sent down for some reason chills in Orochimaru's spine. Oh my god. Oh, even his name is sending chills down my brain. Okay. What else? This jutsu can help you, Orochimaru-sama. Your hands, they haven't healed yet, but after they are healed, there is a way. A way? What do you mean? All I did was an operation on Kirimaru. My hands will be fine. The seals need to be done with perfect hands, Orochimaru. You still need 1 week worth of rest. After that, you may have my permission to try it as a physician and doctor. Fine. But you better keep an eye on that boy. Who? Naruto Uzumaki or Uchiha? And keep an eye on the Uzumaki while you can, because I know for sure they'll be sticking together. You don't need to keep an eye on anyone. Said a voice, as out of thin air arrived Naruto Uchiha there, with the gunbei and the armor and all. So this is where you have been hiding, huh? How can I miss this place? I searched down each and every shithole of yours, all across the map, but this one nearest the Konoha I didn't check, because it was said to be abandoned and filled with dirt. Turns out it was an illusion. Damn it. What do you want? What do you mean? What do I want? You want to see your parallel self, right? I'm here to show you. What? Said Orochimaru as he was shocked by this. Listen to me, Orochimaru. I once called you my comrade, so that is why I'm here to show you this. Comrade, you say? Why? Even if you killed Gigi, we might have our differences. I was able to look past my hatred before everything went to hell, and you supported me, even when Jiraiya gave up on me. What are you babbling about? Nothing. Nothing at all. Here, as Naruto, after doing the hand seals that he watched through with his Sharingan, was able to summon a parallel portal. This one is different. It is complete fun. And you can only see. As on the other side, we see Orochimaru, a much older one, still in a more advanced lab. Impressive. As a kid, then came there. Konnichiwa, Oto-san. Ah, Mitsuki, you're back. Who is that? Said Orochimaru with wide eyes. That there is your son that you created yourself. He is in Konoha, again. He was, well, close friend of my son, before everything. How long are you going to say that phrase? What went to hell? This. As then the images of killed out Mizuki, Orochimaru and everyone was shown. As a huge monster was there. The Otsutsuki god. What has happened? I fought that monster and killed it. I went point blank range. And literally decimated the bastard. And let's just say it wasn't pretty. Whatever he touched turned to ash. Literally. On a large, huge scale. As that is when Orochimaru was scared to witness the huge surge in power. So this is this is my world's and dimension's future. But as of this one, I am certain that if I change certain events, there is a possibility that they will change as well. And that is why I'm here. You mustn't start creating your son already. You can use your clones and transfer your chakra into them. making you immortal, Orochimaru. There, I have just gave you the answer to one thing that you have been looking for relentlessly, day in, day out. As everyone was shocked by this. Thank you. But why should I believe this? Believe what you want. It is the truth. I've shown you nothing more than that. And I know. You can't deny that because with your genes and all that science stuff, you'll be able to recreate Mizuki. As Orochimaru did smirk. To be honest though, I like that kind of future. And for that to happen way early, we need to work and fast. Against who? Kara. What about the Otsuzukis then? They too are being betrayed by the member of Akara, Zetsu. If we take out Kara, who are weaker now, there is no Akatsuki or any other threat left. And the Otsutsuki God won't be awoken. That is something that I'm looking forward to do with you, Naruto Uzumaki. And I certainly won't disappoint. As after that, we go towards Akatsuki as Naruto has departed back to the village after changing Orochimaru for the good. Any news, Zetsu? Bad one. A very, very bad one. It seems that a new type of jutsu of a mirror summoning or some sort of like that was made in Konoha by Hiruzen Sarutobi. And the Jinchuriki's, copy was summoned, but it was different. It has an Uchiha emblem on the back. And he claimed that he was, cousin to you, Itachi, in that dimension. Cousin? He says that his father and your father were brothers. I see. Half brother and cousin, huh? Good. But his world is destroyed, meaning that he is the lone survivor. And he was the one who was brought here. And he says that our worlds are similar, and yet a little bit is different. This can't be good then. Meaning that we have lost if he survived. But at what cost? The plan is futile, Zetsu, said Pain. In the end the world was destroyed and nothing else. If what you say is true, then you're trapped in your own words, said Naruto as he was sitting there behind them all as they were all shocked to witness him arrive there out of thin air. How can that be? How are you here? Old habits die hard. But this is for the, I guess, sixth time that for first time meeting. Second time, I guess, for the first time meeting, but sixth time we're meeting in general. All together. What do you want, Naruto Uzumaki? As everyone was shocked, this kid looked like a younger generation and version of Madara. Hey there, Uncle Obito and Brother Itachi. As even Obito was shocked to drop the mask. So you know it's me. It's futile to stop us, or not. Zetsu is going to betray you. He's gonna revive Kaguya, she's gonna go with Kara, and their main goal plan is to revive the Otsutsuki God, who's gonna destroy not only our world, but the whole universe of that realm, from which I belong. Do you want that to happen? As they were all shocked, and saw that he wasn't lying at all. The kid's telling the truth. What should we do, leader? If Zetsu is really lying, then we should kill him, said Pain. Wait, said Naruto. Nissan, he said, looking towards Itachi. What is it, Naruto? Look through his memories. Find the base of Kara. I will go alone and destroy them. I still have enough power to do so. Are you sure about that, Naruto? I trust myself this much. Please have a little bit faith in me. Fine. As after doing so with his Sharingan ability, he located the address and location. And 2 hours later, we see that Naruto was standing there. So this is where you have been hiding, huh, Ishiki, Momoshiki, Kishiki. As 3 weaker Otsutsukis arrived there. How are you able to see us now? We just came out of the pod, and we were to hibernate, but sensing danger, we were shut up and die. As the huge battle commenced out there, in the end, Naruto was able to win and kill all of them without getting any karma seals, because Naruto has found a way to do so. Good. The minor things, I'll leave that to the kid. As Naruto then witnessed that he was about to disappear, only in a single night worth of time. What the hell? As he heard a voice, your time has been up. You are here on a borrowed time. that borrowed time is up as well. And now, you must return, not before saying goodbye to the kid. As the younger Naruto, who was finally returned from his first C-rank mission, witnessed that the older Naruto was disappearing. Goodbye, Naruto. Make sure, make sure you become strong, and never trust way too much anybody on your own accord. Always see what their agenda is, because they always hold one, whether they're nice or not towards you. Hi. As Naruto was crying, witnessing the older Naruto disappear. As the older Naruto finally disappeared, turning into white sparkles and going from there, as the younger Naruto was left by himself to create his own legend, but in a safe environment because the real legend has arrived and destroyed all the bigger obstacles. As this was the story of Naruto meeting his parallel self. As this is where I'm going to be leaving this story off, guys. I hope you like this one, and if you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. As this is Apollo, and I'm signing off for the day. Peace.